Did Broadcom CEO Hock Tan misjudge the resolve of the President of the United States yet again? Last night, Broadcom reported a distinctly suboptimal quarter where Tan locked $2 billion off his full-year revenue forecast, bringing it down to $22.5 billion. Why? Because of a slowdown in chip sales, largely caused by the trade war. And because of the president's decision to blacklist Huawei, the Chinese telco giant with $100 billion in sales. I just don't think Broadcom really saw this coming. Tan didn't recognize that the president doesn't care about the trade deficit. He cares about containing Chinese technological and military might. If you want to understand the trade war, stop thinking about trade and start thinking of a much more milder version so far of the Cold War. What makes this so brutal for Broadcom is that it's the second time they've misjudged the Trump White House. In late 2017, the company launched a $130 billion hostile takeover bid for Qualcomm, which would have given them an enormous amount of content in practically every cell phone on Earth. At the time, Qualcomm was ridiculously undervalued because of its long legal battle with Apple over fees. The idea was that Tan would buy Qualcomm and then settle the dispute with Tim Cook mano a mano. If he'd pulled it off, Broadcom would have made a fortune. We know that Tan met with President Trump shortly before he launched his takeover bid. He even told the president that he'd move Broadcom's headquarters from Singapore back to the U.S., create 20,000 jobs. He probably thought he was in Trump's good graces. But not long after, the president came out against the Broadcom-Qualcomm tie-up because of national security concerns brought up by the Committee on Foreign Investment, CFIUS, we call it. I still think the administration made a mistake here. Broadcom's an American company. It only moved to Singapore for tax purposes. Still, it was a brutal defeat for a man who's used to getting his way. The Qualcomm deal fell apart and Broadcom moved on. Now, once again, Hock Tan's company is in the crosshairs because the president wants to crack down on China. Of course, I don't know what else Broadcom could actually have done to get out of harm's way here. China's an enormous market for them. Huawei's a huge customer. It would have been foolish for them to just walk away from the business. However, I get the sense that the company simply wasn't prepared for the president to keep escalating the trade war. Or maybe he believed that the president's misguided and he'll come to his senses when he hears all the complaints from businesses that have lately besieged Trump to come to the peace table. And I got to tell you, I think it's a silly position to take. I got to wonder how many times these executives can keep making the same mistake. At this point, if you're a CEO and you don't think the president will follow through with his crackdown on China, you're just fooling yourself. Remember, Trump wants Huawei stopped. He thinks this company is a thief. He thinks they've been stealing technology from all over the world, and there's no compromise with that kind of behavior. I think there's ample evidence to say he is right. So companies like Broadcom simply can't afford to do business with them anymore. Hopefully, Hock Tan finally gets it. Otherwise, Broadcom might have more downside as it adjusts to the new world of an intransigent president who's not going to bend over backwards anymore to help them make money at the expense of American interests. Hate him or like him, Trump's been consistent on China. Change your ways, or this market could be off limits to you. And if you aid China or put a lot of people to work there, don't look to him for any favors. Stick with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @JimCramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.
Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.